The single most legendary run in history is the run that conspiracy theorists have had in the last year. Pretty much every conspiracy theory has been proven to be true, and now we have direct CIA documents that show that the government is controlling the weather. Okay, here we go. Cloud seeding is used around the world, not just in Dubai, but how countries including US, China, and Switzerland and Australia have implemented weather modification and why it is controversial. Controversial because, of course, if you can control the weather, or if you desire to control the weather, you could also destroy the weather and you could ruin life on Earth. How cloud seeding works. Weather stations monitor the atmosphere for clouds. Planes equipped with specialized flares are launched. Salt is released into the clouds. Supercooled water condenses around the salt, and the water droplets become heavy enough to fall as rain, and it increases rainfall about 25% per year. Yay, we can control the weather now. I mean, these are like obviously extremely real things. You've seen this. I mean, I've seen this at the airport. Like they do this. They just banned it in Florida. What could possibly go wrong, right? Yeah, I mean, you could imagine. Why is suddenly these Middle Eastern countries flooding when they're in the middle of the desert? Anyway, CIA accused of poisoning the sky with toxins as files expose secret weather control agenda. Great for us. One top secret CIA file detailed America's plans to control the weather by manipulating the weather. Control the world by manipulating the weather. The documents declassified discussed the controversial topic of weather modification, a tactic used by launching rockets or using planes to dump chemicals in the atmosphere, climate, or local control storm systems. Although the resurfaced document from 1965 does not mention specific chemicals that they were using, they discussed the needs for funding the weather modification projects that would soon be used as a weapon of war. In fact, memos noted that federal funding for the top secret program was set to be 4 times higher in 1967, the same year that the U.S. began spraying toxins over Vietnam to cause floods and landslides. One post on X claimed the CIA has been poisoning the sky and controlling the weather since 1965. The 18-page report was recently shared by conspiracy theorists. If it's a CIA report about poisoning the skies, and here it is, by the way, on the CIA's own website, then is it a conspiracy? Of course not. It's real, with the White House backing. At the Interagency Conference on Weather Modification, sponsored by the National Science Foundation, indicated that the level of federal support for weather modification research has increased, of course, presently projected, and that it could be used to control the world, and that we could use it against the Soviets. Look at this. The U.S. weather modification program expands. We are likely to have increased demand for intelligence on Soviet accomplishments. The Soviets are also enlarging their programs for weather modification. Cool. So everyone's doing it. Like, this is enough to get you kicked off social media a couple of years ago. Federal support for weather modification in all of our defense departments. Incredible. So they're showing that they made a Hurricane Betsy. Weather Bureau provided excellent and timely warnings for Hurricane Betsy. This warnings permitted the evacuation of people. What are they saying? Like, okay, so we're creating the hurricanes, and then we're warning people about them. It's wonderful. Give us more tax dollars. Conspiracy theorists realizing they were right again. CIA poisoning the sky. That's right. The chemtrails are real. Flat earthers waiting for their turn. Conspiracy theorists being right yet again. Hello. Can you hear them? What is our record now, guys? We owe conspiracy theorists another apology. I wish we could live in the year 3000 so I could be vindicated for literally everything that I believe. We know. Declassified CIA files reveal that under LBJ and U.S. military sprayed chemicals from planes to modify the weather. Another day of conspiracy theories confirmed. So the chemtrails are real. The Goy beam is real. Baby foreskins being stolen by the cosmetic industry is real. The CIA heart attack gun is real. Havana syndrome is real. The discombobulator is real. They're all real, and they're all being done to all of us at all times without our consent. Yikes. Chemtrails are all real. How many more of them do you need for confirmation? Conspiracy theorists hearing this is confirmed right now after years of screaming from the rooftops. We asked, by the way, the director of the EPA, his name's Lee Zeldin, about this, and said, hey, Lee Zeldin, like, do you guys do, weather modification? Do you guys, like, straight up do the things that, we all know that you can do? Everybody's seen this in their backyard, right? Are you ready to admit that they're spraying chemicals and heavy metals and blocking out the sun? Obviously, Tucker Carlson is asked about this. We took a flying laboratory. It's not a conspiracy. We're all being sprayed like bugs. What are the chemtrails? Here we go. Tucker Carlson just had an episode proving that skies are being sprayed with aluminum and chemicals, and the head of the EPA confirmed our skies are being sprayed with chemicals. RFK said our skies are being sprayed with chemicals. We need to ban this in all 50 states. We asked the director of the EPA. Kind of amazing. Here's what he had to say.
And the fact is that geoengineering is real. It's something that the U.S. government has acknowledged for a long time. Solar radiation modification, stratospheric aerosol injection, marine cloud brightening, weather modification, cloud seeding. Some of this stuff has a history that's going back many decades. Some of this stuff has history of government funding as recently as over the course of the last few years during the Biden administration. So the questions that the government that the people are asking of government is very fair. It's important for the people and the public to make sure that they understand what these things are individually, and you don't just confuse it all. Like if you just see some picture of a whole bunch of high altitude aircraft over your house where the conditions are very hot, jet fuel exhaust is coming in contact with low temperature air in high humidity that is causing that cloud exhaust fume to be that cloud to exist for longer than a few minutes. What you shouldn't do is say, that is marine that is stratospheric aerosol injection, that is solar radiation modification, that is geoengineering. You start confusing terms and definitions, you will start losing your own credibility of your own question, of your own argument.